And as you can see, it's very responsive. How's it going, JDM crew? This is John from JDM EXPO with another inventory video. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and we feature a number of JDM vehicles that go through our inventory here. Have a look around on the channel later if you're interested in any other vehicles. Today's vehicle here is an R33. It's a GTS-T, but I'd have to double check on the specs. It's definitely pretty modified. I believe it's the RB25 based on the response. Just introducing her right away. I believe this is a Momo steering wheel. I don't have any labels on here or any things to really tell me anything else about it. Yeah, dash is in pretty good shape. The interior overall is mostly intact. I mean, headboard's fine. The rear seats and all the upholstery's fine. We've got a bride seat here that kind of matches the rest of the color, and then I got this red bride seat that's definitely more designed for holding you in place and a little bit of comfort. It's a little bit more of an afterthought, I think. We have an Apex I FC Commander here. It's giving me all of my little percentages there. Let me know my battery voltage, RPM, and all that. You can dial in some extra settings on there if you need. I got a, I think this is the boost controller over here on the other side, Blitz. It's got turbo timer right underneath here. And we've got about 113,000 kilometers on the clock, which is not a whole lot. That's only around like 60-something thousand miles, about 70,000. Can you hear that? Like, I'm not sure if the microphone's picking that up, but can you hear that spooling? I mean, this thing's pretty wicked on the response. It's just so got a boost gauge that's not really doing a whole lot there. I believe these ones are disconnected also because even my temperature gauge is off. All the other gauges are still fine. I believe there's a controller for this, but I don't think it's actually set up. Oh, actually no, the boost controller is. Oh, it's because I'm not boosting. Do apologize, guys. I'm just driving. I'm not really mashing on this very hard. Yeah, there we go. It's actually, I can see. It's just vacuum right now. Plus, if I boost, it's not going to be more than 1 bar anyway, so. But the response, I'm just hearing it. It's pretty cool. We do have a Carros area audio deck. I'm not so sure about the speakers. I believe they're OEM or, you know, they're not really anything too crazy. Got a couple of little carbon fiber look or carbon fiber components. Even on the sides, the little pillar covers, they actually have some carbon fiber, which I'll show you in a little bit. But yeah, so all in all, mechanically, this is pretty regular. Well, I would say in terms of crazy mods, yeah, it's fairly regular. Yeah, we've got the air filter, exhaust, some of the intercooler piping and stuff. A lot of the typical bolt-ons to get a little bit more power out of this. This is set up for drift, so really a lot more of the mods have been on style / suspension, so really what's on the outside. And I can tell you, even with this, with the larger diameter wheels and all that, it's also lower profile tires, it's definitely quite responsive. I'm feeling most of the bumps, but the suspension is pretty forgiving. Not really any issues with that. Even with this bucket seat, I'm not feeling like my kidneys rupturing from every bump, you know, just like, oh God. So, no problems with that. And as you can see, it's very responsive. That's definitely one of the things I like about the GTS and GTS-Ts. If you have the 2.0 or the 2.5, it's very rev happy, and as you can see, they're easy to break traction. So definitely, if you're looking for a drift machine, this is definitely what you need. Yeah, definitely for the higher end ones like the GTR, you actually have to disable the front wheel drive and you have a lot of extra weight to deal with. But for this, a little bit lighter, a little bit faster. I love it. Yeah, when it kicked it out back there, I definitely didn't want to force it into gear and accidentally miss. So definitely a little bit more patience involved there. Whenever you actually head out on a drift circuit or anything, you definitely have to watch your positioning and how the car responds. Well, we're almost to the warehouse here, and I'll give you the walk around on the outside, and we'll see what else she's got. Show you under the hood. You guys are going to like this. Well, alright, we're starting from the interior as usual, and you can see this nice bride seat there. And you can see, as I was mentioning earlier, the interior is in great shape. See that headliner there? We'll go through these gauges here. So we do have that Nismo shift knob. Got the little drift button there to hold your parking brake. So, well, right now it's disengaged and engaging the parking brake. Got some other things there. Carrozzeria audio deck, AC controls, and this temperature gauge. This one's disconnected currently, and we do have the boost gauge, which I didn't quite notice at first because I was just cruising, and you know, it's just reading vacuum, not boost, of course. See that 113607. We do have this aftermarket steering wheel there, and it does come out just a little bit more with that riser there, so it's in a better position for drift. As you can see. Oh yeah, I did notice we do have this Carrozzeria like sub here. A little bit more of the interior view there. Alright, so we got this Bride racing seat. This actually has a little bit of wear underneath there, but we have this good old fall leather thing to prevent any further tearing, and looks a little bit nicer that way. So whenever you get in and out, yeah, and these are removable, and you can also fix them however you want. So if you needed a bit more support, you can actually add those in. So that's the nice thing about these Bride seats. You can customize the padding on there. Well, you see the door panel here, and give her the old walk around, show that exterior. As you can see here, 40th anniversary Skyline. It does have the badges on both sides, so the 40th anniversary GTS-Ts. And all around, yeah, looking pretty good. Nice kit on there. And you can see with the over fenders and the offset, they do have, I believe, spacers on the rear. I'm not sure about the front. Let me double check. Oh, it does have the spacers on there just a little bit, so it keeps everything flush. But definitely rides pretty well. I think we can get a better view here. So we do have aftermarket rotors, I believe, front and rear. Yeah, these are worn down a bit, but they also, I think they were slotted before, because there's evidence of that. And these wheels, by the way, they're Wed Sport. So pretty nice all around. Are these 19s? To double check. Oh, 18s. Yeah. Yeah, so you got 285 in the rear. And just double check what we got on the fronts. Oh, 285 all around. So nice and even. I was expecting a little bit more staggered, but not all around the same. And this exhaust, by the way, I am pretty sure the microphone picked it up. It's all pretty groovy. Plenty loud, so. And we'll go to the engine bay here and have a look. You can see vented hood there. It's I believe FRP. It's definitely lighter than the original by a long shot. And oh yeah, and I believe that's Tane suspension. I'll try to get another view of that later. And here's the VIN number for those of you guys interested in getting some of the details on this R33. There you go. And so the strut bar is JIC. See, JIC magic. Nice. Carbon fiber style one. And it does have the firewall to strut tower braces there, so definitely keeping the chassis nice and rigid. You see these gritty plumbing for the front mount intercooler here. It's definitely got a good bit of volume going through there, cool that air charge down. And HKS intake right there, so gotta clean up that air. It's also got some ducting, so you can see from down there, comes in from the front. So also some custom tubing here for the front mount intercooler. So even though they did cut into that area, it is covered, so they definitely were making sure everything was done right. So got that chassis protection there. Nice, looks like a twin row. Could be a triple, but nice and thick, high volume radiator there, so definitely cool. Keep that cooling down. And we do have the grounding kit here installed. A little catch can. So all sorts of goodies here. Yeah, a lot of silicone hoses and everything like that. So this has definitely been set up. Even aftermarket fuel filter and everything in there. So yeah, lots and lots of goodies added in here. And of course, being the RB25, it's definitely nice all around. I love the response on these, by the way. I used to have one myself, so seeing one like this is definitely putting out a lot more power than the one that I had. Well, there you have it, folks. This really nice R33 right here. If you're interested in this or any other vehicles, contact our sales team, info@jdm-expo.com. And if you hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all DMs will go to our sales team, so they'll respond within 24 hours or so. So if you're new to the channel, definitely, if you're not interested in this one, check out our other videos and other cars you might be interested in, and just direct those questions to our sales team. And yeah, just look at that kit and that stance though. That's really something else. And I know like a lot of folks are after the GTRs, but the GTS, GTS-Ts and all that, they're very respectable, great handling vehicles. And even though a lot of people believe that this is more of a boat, I think it handles pretty well. Definitely had a good experience with this in the S14, so definitely the mid-90s. It's definitely worth checking out. Alright guys, well it's going to be getting pretty cold here, so I'm going to be heading back over to the office. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.